Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you very much for listening to this YouTube channel. March 24, Friday, our market closed higher, up 65.81 points, or up 1.01%, closed at 6,602.17. Value turnovers at 4.3 billion pesos. Masyadong manipis, no? But it's also the listing ni Alternergy, wherein it ended flat, no? Of course, as expected, chupitan mo lang 'to muna, no? The sentiment is not really good right now. Normally, historically, uh, yung mga ganitong IPOs before, nilalaro, no? But because walang appetite yung market, especially the retail investors, hirap talaga, no? Before, pag nag-IPO, unahan yan sa LSI. LSI, local small investors, ang limit lang before is 25,000 pesos. And sa tech tight, no, wherein sa PSE building and even sa Makati, pila yan. No? That's easy, 20, 30, 50% ceiling. No? But right now, everything is digitalized, online na. Uh, Huwag kayo magpapaniwala sa nababasa nyo na it's oversubscribed. Yeah, all IPOs are oversubscribed. It's called marketing. Diba? Parang yung mga burger na yan, no? Masarap na sarap, no? Hinipe na yung mga grilled balot. Hinahype na sobrang sarap at pinausukan lang naman pala, no? Yung mga vloggers na yan. But anyway, they're doing a great business, no? They're fighting fair, no? Yung mga balot business na yan. But in terms of IPO naman, never ako nakakita ng IPO na hindi oversubscribed. No? Expect good news from the company in the next few weeks. No? They have several projects in the pipeline, but based on the price actions, it opened lower. No? 122. Ibig sabihin, uh, meron talagang, di ba? Hindi na nakapag-antay. Gusto na lumabas. Di ba? Opening pa lang. So, anyway, and some brokers tried shorting it. No, I think Fidelity lost few centavos shorting it only for him to buy back higher. What's good about this stock is there's a stabilization fund. The stabilization fund intends to stabilize or at least protect the stock price from going down further. Doesn't mean di yan bababa. Ibig sabihin gradual lang, at least may suporta, may bumibili. Diba? Naisip natin stabilization fund, ilalagay na lang niya sa one flock lower. No? Depende sa underwriter yan. Before, ang experience ko dyan, no, sa underwriter ng DD, DD rate, no? Ano yun? DD-MPR. No? Uh, si PNP, which is the underwriter of the rate company ni Double Dragon, he placed like 100 million shares at 2.24. The IPO price was 2.25. So, normally, the retail investors, no? Oh, ang laki ng suporta doon, no? They keep on buying up, no? Kaya it went to as high as 2.38. But eventually, yung mga IPO holders got disappointed. They started selling the stock, no? Eventually pushing the price lower. Nung nabutas yung 2.24, which is the stabilization fund, naubos in one go, no? Binagsakan. Nahulog na, nag-collapse ang presyo ni DDMPR. Diba? So yun, price fell to as low as 1 peso and 30 centavos na yata si DD rate, no? So yun, the problem with Alter, no? Yung price action pa lang niya, yung umpisa pa lang, ang dami na gusto lumabas. Eventually, I think the stabilization fund was used, no? I don't know kung marami pa yan o hindi, no? But I think it's a percentage of the IPO listing. So when price goes up to the IPO price, yung mga retail investors naman who got IPO shares will be mawawala ng patience, no? They will start selling, no? Kung di umakyat yan, bebenta, benta, benta yan, no? So magko-collapse yung presyo. So right now it's a tug of war, no? I'm not saying this will not go up or this will go down, but by statistics, mas malaki chance mahulog, no? Tapos I saw some brokers buying, no? I think Wealth is owned by Wilson C. The Warren Buffett ng Philippines, no? He's a great investor, but iba yung strategy. No? I'm sure you know him. No? So, yun yung observation natin there. Other than that, it's a boring day. No? So, BSP raised interest rates again last Thursday. No? So, at least it's a telegraph move na factored in na ng market na, di ba, we need to fight inflation by raising interest rates. ICT, AC, QRC, JGS, ASEN, and then higher. AC is one of those easiest trade. No? Pag 600, 601, 602, bili ka. Pag nagtalbog ng 620, 630, 640, depends on your appetite. You can start selling or you can buy. You can keep on buying. Eventually, it will take time for AC to recover. No? Daming foreign ownership yan. As long as foreigners keep on selling this, medyo alangan. ICT, no? Of course, no? That's the reason. Very generous with the dividends. So just terminated his deal uh with 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 PHR. No? So it's like a buy one take one deal, eh, no? I'll save your company, but I need to, di ba? Parang please save my other companies too. No, yung ganun yung nangyari. Well, eventually, nag-no deal sila doon. No? And news on Apex. No? Apex is now owned by Enrique Razon. No? So there's a cease and desist order in one of his MPSA, no, mineral production sharing agreement. Of course, people ask why it went up. Kala ba bad news yan? Market is inefficient. Market may bad news. Doesn't mean na it will go down. No? What's the impact ba? No? This MPSA is still on uh, exploratory stage. No? So, hindi pa nade-develop yan. And what's good about Apex, it's already operating. They're already earning. And given the weakness in peso, they export eh. No? So they earn in dollars, they produce in peso. That's very beneficial for the company. No? And yun nga, no? Gold is rising. And this is also the reason why Apex and Felix are going up. No? Going up, no? Quote unquote, no? It doesn't mean that it will fly, but at least there's some activity there. No? For some time, no, Felix was trading below its stock price offering price of 3 pesos and 15 centavos. No? But, yun nga, si Apex, single digit PE, very undervalued. We discussed this before, even before some brokerage issued a buy rating there. No? I don't have Apex because, you know, uh, have limited ammunition. So, kino-concentrate ko sa yung mga bala ko, no? GSMI, which is up 50%, no? I prefer uncrowded trades. Uncrowded trades, ibig sabihin yung walang may hawak. No? So how did we spot GSMI? No, it's no secret. When we first discussed GSMI, I laid down or at least I pointed nilagay ko yung mga reasons ko why we bought that. No? Last January, Diageo bought Don Paparam for around 15 billion pesos or I think 25 billion pesos. If you don't know, no, Don Papa is distilled by GSMI. GSMI doesn't own Don Papa, but yun nga, at least they got some. I think they will get royalties from that. No, sila yung distillery. Eh. So I don't know how that affects. No, people ask me bakit hindi Costco? It's cheaper. Eh, pag Costco ka, ako GSMI, it's trend. But you just watch the price action. Volume is going up there. No? There's someone accumulating. Yun, sumabog. It's now 160. I haven't sold my GSMI yet. And still going up. No? I don't know. It's the best, I think it's the best performing stock right now in the index, where our index right now is up 0.05% or 0.5%, I think. No? GSMI is up 50%. MPI, we already laid down our plans there. No? Kung saan rin tayo nagbenta. Unfortunately, it's a good trade. No? Unfortunately, when we first bought that, I'm really waiting for a tender offer, but unfortunately, wala nangyari. Did we make money? Yeah. No? Sayang lang, no? Kung 5 or 6 pesos. We could have made more. But okay na yun. That's how market works. It doesn't mean na lahat ganun eh. No? Okay na rin as long as we're making money. Diba? Anyway, Holcim, no? Close lower, no? Despite a tremendous resilient year as they delivered a net profit of around 455 million as a result of reduction in its fixed cost. Of course, cements don't fly except for Eagle, no? Which was bought by San Miguel. No? Si Holcim naman, Cemex, no? it's a very challenging environment, semento. Mas mura pa kasi ang mag-import ng semento, no? So, for them to survive, you need mergers and acquisitions. Remember when Cemex started climbing 60, 70 centavos last year or this early this year, sabi ko nga, there's no reason for Cemex to go up unless there's a merger and acquisition. We were right. Marunong lang tayo mag-isip, no? Unfortunately, we don't have Cemex. Bakit? Takot ako doon sa valuation niya, no? Kung laro-laro, baka pwede, no? But we don't play with small money here, no? Medyo malalaki, sizable yung positions natin when we buy. Iniisip ko na rin saan yung exit, 'di ba? Exit strategy natin. Yun, no? For wholesale, ganun rin. This will not go up unless there's a merger and acquisition here. No? So, yeah. FGen, no? Yeah, this is one of the cheapest renewables right now, or power player. Fortunately, the public float is just 11%, which is a bad for them. No? But anyway, if you're a long-term investor, then you're betting na FGen will be privatized next time. No? So the tender offer before was 33 pesos. So if you can sit on this, no? Then all the upsides sa inyo, no? Remember, no? EDC was also privatized before FGen. There's a possibility, but I don't know when, no? KKR bought already a 19% stake, I think, no? Or significant block in FGen, no? Which caused FGen's public flow to drop to 11%. No? But they already produced, no, a recurring net income of around $265 million, so driven by increased volume in electricity sales, especially as an elevated fuel and wholesale electricity spot market prices. No? Gaan na nito, 11% public float. No? Wala nang seller yan. Parang ubos na. Normally before, no, EDC and FGen, two tranches yung block sale nun. No? Forgot ko anong tender offer ni EDC, but FGen was 33. Nakailang round na rin ako sa FGen, no? Yung tender offer nila. No? Of course, after the tender offer, price goes down na. Bakit? Wala nang laro. No? Price will start recovering up pag may laro na uli. No? Remember naman, I don't want to be nasa analysis paralysis mode. No? As long as we're making money, we're fine. No? Doon tayo, kung saan tayo kikita. Anyway, MPI, no, clarified that it has not disposed any stake in Maynilad following a post by a media personality, si Ramon Tulfo, no? Lalo na binenta daw ng ni MPI yung stake niya sa Maynilad kay Enrique Razon. Of course, Maynilad started climbing up the other day. I mean Manila Water. No? So there was some rebase rating there. No? For in terms of Maynilad is owned by 51% Metro Pacific, around 20% stake DMCI, and 20% stake Marubeni. Around hindi ko alam yung exact number eh. No? Sabi ko when we discuss this, no, lahat to nasa utak na lang natin, wala tayong kodigo or wala tayong ano, no. Plus minus, no, you can always check the internet for that, no. So if MPI will be unloading his stake in Maynilad, yung 51% stake lang yan, no. Unless of course it's a whole consortium, no. Maynilad is planning to list in PSE by fourth quarter this year or early next year. By law, they're required to list, no. Of course, they can also do the other path na ginawa ni NGCP, which is to list the holding company that owns NGCP. That's also possible here. No? Of course, Maynilad said na, or Manny Pangilinan said na, wala pa, hindi yan totoo. No? So, the problem with Manila Water acquiring Maynilad is monopoly. No? Yun nga, when Enrique Razon bought Manila Water from the Ayala sa 13 pesos and 50 centavos, nagka-issue na before of issues sa monopoly. Piruin mo yung prime infra, sa kanila rin yung Wawa Dam eh. No? They're also, di pwede ikaw yung supplier, ikaw na rin yung nagdi-distribute. No? That's monopoly. But I don't know if the government will allow, no? If sinabi ng government na there's no monopoly, then we follow the laws, the rules, di ba? Pag sinabi nila no deal, edi that's a problem there. No? So I hope that's clear. No? So Alter, we already discussed that. No? So the passcode for today is Alternergy. No? GTCAP, by the way, no, grew its net income by 67% year on year. Nagka-briefing on Friday. No? What's good is Yun nga, no, Toyota Motor sales is very, very good. No? It means na market is recovering. No? Yung Federal Land tsaka Mitsukoshi Mall joint venture nila, yung bagong mall sa BGC, daming tao. Good plans there. I think they're building several towers pa. No? Anyway, no, GT Cap's net income grew by 67% year on year to around 18.4 billion last year, driven by strong performance of its banking business. If you don't know, GT Cap owns 15% stake in MPI. In terms of price per share, that's I think 6 pesos. No? So tipid si GT Cap there. They have an option to increase their stake there, but will they do that? No? Pag ginawa nila yun, price of MPI of course will go up. No? Depends on the valuation. Of course, right now, it's cheaper for them to buy sa market, diba? If they want to increase their stake, diba? But it doesn't solve the problem uh, of MPI's capex na they need to raise around 80 billion for their capex. Of course, sabi nila, no, 80 billion of capex this year will be funded using internal cash and some borrowings. But the borrowings, no, masyado mataas ang interest rate sa market right now, no? Raise, kaka, kaka-rate hike ng BSP, several property names, property companies are doing IPO, no? Kasi mas cheaper for them to raise capital sa equity instead of borrowing money sa banks. No? PLDT nung isang araw, no, declared some cash dividend, nahulog, no? They managed to reduce their capex, no, budget overrun of 48 billion to 33 billion after it entered into settlements with major vendors. No? At least they're consistent with their dividend policy rin. No? So, yeah. MY, no, will start commencing its 1.5 billion preferred shares, no. So it's very cheap. MY is already cheap. It's market sentiment, no. So if you don't know, no, I think the SM family, the C group owns, I think a minority stake in MY. They can just scoop everything while it's cheap, or diba, or do a public tender offer what they did with to go, no. Right now, diba, order book pa lang ni Megawide, no? Laki na eh. Projects nila. Unfortunately, it's a market sentiment. So, selling uh, megawatt. No? RLC, one of the cheapest property names out there. No? Frederick Go, or the president, the cousin of Lance Go, kung may started buying na. Personal shares na niya, 1 million shares. Tapos may buyback program pa siya. No? Remember, there's nothing wrong with the company. No? Foot traffic is back. No? Mall sales, no? Dami ng tao sa malls. Sabi ko, paano magiging recession yan? Daming tao sa malls. This is also the reason why they're bullish with the company. Unfortunately, it continues to drop because of index outflow, no? Yung mga index trackers, no, kailangan magbenta ng RLC. Of course, tapos na yung rebalancing, but there are some funds na hindi pa tapos magbenta. O, benta sila, bumibili naman yung mga Robinsons buyback program and Federico. No? So, yun yung nangyayari doon, no? Tug of war. I'm monitoring any signs of strength, no? Or pagkabag ubos na yung selling pressure, pwede na yan. No? Even Mega World, no? Pag ubos na yung selling, baka pwede nang bilhin yan. SM Prime, no, also submits its fifth tranche of 100 billion shelf registration for fixed rate bonds. Of course, I remember before, no, yung story ni SM, no, yung president nila, si Jose Ceo, no, for them to grow, they need to list in TSE. So that's why they listed SM at 250 pesos in early 2000 yata, yun, no. And SM right now is the biggest index stock the market. SM Prime, isa pa yun. No? So what we're waiting right now is their SM rate. No? It's a 50 billion IPO. But given this kind of market, di kaya saluhin ng market yung ganyang kalaki. So they're just waiting for the right opportunity. Even Prime Infra, no? Dinadaga yan. No? It's a big IPO, 25 billion, 30 billion. Wala, no? Kailangan mag-start ng BSP, mag-rate cut naman, no? Magbabawas ng rates. But I don't think BSP will be slashing interest rates this year. No? Baka next year na yan. This is also the reason why I'm looking at several banking names, no, who will give dividends in the next few weeks. We're talking about China Bank. No? So this is not a recommendation to buy, but they already announced their earnings, 19.1 billion. If you computed the 30% dividend policy, then you have a figure on how much they will declare. No? GMA 7 is due for dividend declaration na, no? This week or next week, no? Last year, they declared, I think, 1 peso and 45 centavos. So, if they still declare the same amount, it gives, I think, 11%. No? I'm just giving you an idea. But if kung mas malaki, then price goes up, or at least the market will react to that news. Kung biglang 2 pesos pala yung cash dividend ng GMA 7, then this can easily go to GMA 14 or GMA 15, no? By the way, no, follow me on Instagram, no? Market Babbler. Pa-retweet na lang yung mga post natin doon para dumami yung subscribers natin. And even this channel, please support naman, no? Diba? Para alam natin na may nakikinig, diba? So yun, no? BSP is also expecting 7% GDP growth in the first quarter this year, no? Despite the rate hikes to tame inflation and stabilize the peso. No? So at least there's some good news, no? Di pa na yung bad news na rate hike, no? Of course, yun. Double Dragon also raised an additional $20 million or 1 billion pesos in an off uh, top offering, no? Offshore offering the SGX. No? So the proceeds will be used to develop and construct Hotel 101 overseas. This is also the reason na medyo pinabayaan si Mary Mart and his other business. No, you can only work on one project at a time. No? So right now he's busy with his Hotel 101, which aims to hit 500,000 rooms under their brand globally, no, by 2040. No? Sa Niseko, Japan, they already bought a land there, no? So mostly joint venture to. So Mega World is also expecting a 2 billion sales from their residential condominium in Lapu-Lapu, Cebu, no? So they will build this on Mactan, expected to be completed by 2028. So yun. I hope I answered all your questions, no? Thank you for all this support that we're receiving, no? Yung mga follow sa atin sa Twitter, sa Instagram, no? Kayo na yun, no? Yeah. Shout out Isaiah Del Resio, Jerger Gaming Central, WM, Victor Dens, Famous, Geraldine Arbuyes, Jason Chan, Oliver Wendelgo, Moneymaker, JDN, ERC, Ray Toledo, Paul Lagaso, and John Edison Aquino. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe. God bless. Bye-bye.